Hello there, you absolute legends. Emma McElhinney here with Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. I am here to ruin your misconceptions about perimenopause, fat loss, and kick midlife in the face. So if you think your 40s are a drag, think again. Because every week I am going to be stripping down the myths about perimenopause. I'm serving you raw, unfiltered truths about your health and smashing misconceptions about fat loss. And a whole lot more. So if you thought you knew midlife, you don't know the half of it. Aging is inevitable, but getting old is a choice. So buckle up, grab a glass of something yummy, and let's get to it. So today we have an immense topic. It's all about help, falling off the wagon. I'm going to teach you what to do to get back on the wagon. And you can use this for the rest of your life. You can do this for anything. So if you think that you're, I'm just trying to think. So obviously weight loss, health, maybe, yeah, you could apply this to any situation in your life where you feel like you've been on a really good trajectory, either up or down, depending what the goal is, and then everything goes to tits up. So, right. If you're here live with me, please feel free to put a wee hashtag live in the comments so it just bumps it just lets everybody else know that it's here. And if you're catching it in replay, do a wee hashtag replay. As always, you can ask questions as we go. I might not, I'll probably wait to the end, but anyway. So, help. I have fallen off the wagon. So this is inspired by the lovely Gillian, who very bravely put a wee post up to say, shit, what do I do? And the first thing I want you to know is that everybody does this. You're never, ever going to feel like you're on it all the time, and you're not supposed to. So this feeling of being on it or off it isn't one thing and another. It's a scale. So there'll be some times that you'll be more committed, motivated almost, and there'll be times that you'll be slightly less committed and less of a priority, and that's called life. So please, this kind of on it or off it is the same kind of thinking as all or nothing. You are not going to be on it all the time. You're not going to be off it all the time. Life is a sliding scale. Now, this is why I teach habits, because when you're feeling like you're not on it, we want your habits to become subconscious behaviors that you just do even when you're not feeling on it, right? So that's why I teach habits the way that I teach them, and to help prop you up. Now, the thing is, when we talk about off the wagon and on the wagon, it's very much applicable. It's around motivation, right? So we feel like we're on it, we're motivated, or we're not on it, we're not motivated, right? And it is a psychological impossibility to be motivated all the time. Nobody is motivated all the time. Even Olympic athletes aren't motivated all the time. I'm not motivated all the time. You're not motivated all the time. No one is motivated all the time. Motivation is fickle. It can be a thought that can come to you quite quickly, or it can never come at all. And if we're constantly just waiting to rely on motivation to get shit done, we're never going to get shit done. So that is why it's so important to not, I hear this all the time, and you girls are different because you've enrolled in something, but I hear it all the time. I'm just not in the right headspace. Well, how do you get yourself in the right headspace? You do the thing. And that's the thing, when I talk about motivation, you're like, oh, just not motivated to do it. Well, what is the quickest way to get motivated? Is to do the thing, is to do the action that you're not motivated for. So if I'm not motivated to go to the gym, which is, fairly frequently, especially just now because my hip is fucking gaping, but anyway, what is the quickest way for me to get motivated to go to the gym? It's to go to the gym. That motivates me, because when I'm in there, I'm going to do something. It might just be a warm-up. It might just be 20 minutes worth of stretching. It might just be some really, really light something or other. It might just be I go on the assault bike for 10 minutes and nearly cry. Anyway, but that's the quickest way to get motivated to go to the gym, is to go to the gym and do the things. The quickest way to get motivated to eat healthy is to eat your next meal healthy, right? Really. But anyway, that's very generic. I'm going to teach what to do specifically, and I've fallen off the wagon, I've not done my tracking, I've not looked at the app, I've not done anything, right? So these are the steps that I want you to take. Write this down, because this is going to apply for you in the rest of your living days. Right, so I've written some notes. Right, believe it or not, the first step is taking full responsibility. Okay. Now, a lot of people won't like this, and that's okay. I don't care. But taking responsibility, you are responsible for your own actions, your own thoughts, what you consume, like food, drink, what you consume, social media, what you consume on the news, what you consume, everything. Like, you are responsible for all of that, all your thoughts, all your actions, everything. What you're not responsible for is external circumstances. Now, a lot of people fall off the wagon. I really don't like that phrase, but I'm just going to use it. People, not everybody, most people fall off the wagon because of something external that has happened that has then impacted their either their mood, their environment, or their time, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't do something, you are ultimately choosing not to do something. It's not an excuse. Think shit happens, it happens to us all, but still you didn't do it or you did do it, and that is on you. So the first step is to take full responsibility. And there's an amazing book called, I think it's called Extreme Ownership, and it's by a Marine called Joko, but I wouldn't recommend reading the full thing. But anyway, basically it is, we are in a culture of where it's always somebody else's fault, right? Always something else caused the thing, right? But if we rip that off, if we rip off that actually and put the ownership back on us, so I can apply this to business performance as an example. It is my responsibility. I'm taking ownership of the fact that that client that I spoke to last Friday, she did not enroll. She did not enroll to our one-to-one coaching, not because of her, because I did not make that proposition, that service, sound like what she needed. Right? So the ownership is on me. Somebody, we'll use Gillian. Sorry, Gillian. Gillian, as an example, has fallen off the wagon. I am responsible for that. There was something that I have done or not done in the app, in the coaching, in the call, something that has made her not want to do that. So I take responsibility for that. Now, Gillian is accountable for all the things that she's done, but ultimate responsibility sits with me. And when you start living your life, not necessarily like that all the time, but start thinking about that, actually, do you know what? Christ, I'm in much more control than I thought about various different things. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is take responsibility for, right, I've fallen off the wagon because have I stepped off the wagon and it's on me, or has the wagon thrown me off because of whatever, right? So that's the first thing always to do. The second thing is look at your goals, right? So you're falling off the wagon, it's been a week, I've not done anything. Go and look at your goals. This is why it's so important to write them down. I have mine here right in front of my freaking face every single day. So if I'm sitting here eating a Greggs sausage roll, and then I don't particularly like a Greggs sausage roll, the fat in it or whatever it is just feels like it strips the enamel off my teeth, and like, oh. Anyway, if I'm sitting here munching on a Greggs sausage roll, my consistent size 8 to 10 jeans goal is never going to come to fruition. Well, it might, like if I've got one sausage roll every 6 months, then that's not a problem. But so go back to your goals. What is it that you actually want? Do you want to be a dress size smaller, to a dress sizes smaller? Yes or no? Is your goal still applicable? If yes, right. How do we make that goal more connected to your actions, right? And the first thing is all about visibility. So if your goals are not right in front of your face, you could put them on a screensaver on your phone. You could put them on a post-it note on your laptop screen. You could have it as a reminder that pops up every day on your phone. Whatever you need to do to make your goals visible, actionable, do it. Because if you don't see them, you forget. You won't give a fuck. Right? You won't give a fuck. Guaranteed. Right? So, and this is like the fundamentals of behavior change. This is not just me. This is like proper science. So go back to your goals. If your goals no longer connect with you, or if you, like what we do typically find is, I've got a client who I'm just offboarding just now. She met her first goal pretty easily, like 2 dress sizes, happened pretty easily. And then she fell off the wagon. She's like, why am I not tracking? What's your goals? Oh, I've met them. Like that. Well, the reason why you're not doing anything because you don't have a new set of goals. You don't know what it is that you want to achieve now, and therefore, if you don't know what it is you want, you then don't know the actions and what to how to get there. And if you don't know the actions, then you're just gonna just do whatever you freaking feel like at the time. So go back to your goals. If your goals don't make sense anymore or they're not applicable, change your goals. Make them so emotionally connected. Make them so like, here we go. Let's what will we go this one here, right? So let's talk about the motorhome goal. I've got a motorhome goal, right? So I have a safe retreat for me and my son so that we can be outdoors, relax, be in nature, and have quality time together. And that really floats our boat. Like both of us are really outdoorsy. We love animals, we love big skies, we love stuff, right? Like that. So that emotionally connects with me. Actually, I want to give him the best life possible. And part of that is to be able to travel freely. So there we go. That's my motorhome goal. That means, so when I'm sitting there at the end of the month and I've got a couple of £100 sitting going, right, okay, well, I could just go and spank that easily in some new makeup or I was going to say handbag, but I've got all the handbags I want, or shoes. I'm not really fussed. I could go and spank that on some new Nikes and a new pair of Lululemons, right? Or I could put that in the savings fund for the motorhome, right? So if I see that go, I'll go, shit, that's going in the motorhome because that's an emotionally connected goal. Okay. Now, that's not to say if you've got goals of buying new shoes and new leggings, go for your guns. Like your goals are your goals and they're valid. Absolutely fine. So go back to your goals and your why. Why is this goal important to you? And if your goal is, I want to lose 2 dress sizes so I can feel sexy in those jeans, that's not a why. We do this at the very beginning of your program. Why? Why do you want to lose 2 dress sizes? So I feel good in these jeans. Well, why is it important that you feel good in these jeans? Because I'm a bit more confident when I feel good in these jeans. Why is it important that you feel more confident? Because then I feel proud of myself. And why is it important for you to feel proud of yourself? Because I can then confidently say that I'm fit and healthy and I'm a good example. Well, why is that important? Because my mum had type 2 diabetes and died when she was 65, right? So your fundamental why is actually nothing to do with the genes. Your fundamental why is to be fit and healthy so you don't die young, right? That's quite an extreme example, but your core why of why you are here or why you want to lose weight or why you want to get fitter, stronger, or healthier is always boils down to health, wealth, relationships, or status. So health is obvious, fat as your pro, can't even think of the word, your body confidence coaches, I can't remember what they're called, as much as they will stand up and say it doesn't matter what size you are, you can still be healthy. The fact is, if you carry more body fat than, like, if your BMI is over 30 and there's no cut-off point, like, but if you're carrying more body fat than what you need to, you are putting your health at risk. It is proven time and time again. We know the biggest factors for certain cancers, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, all the things, is not necessarily just obesity, it's being overweight, right? So anyway, so if your why is around health, that's quite simple. If it's around wealth, and this commonly is about, like for me as an example, if I was a health and fitness coach that specializes in fat loss, I'm not going to attract clients if I'm a size 18. 16, 18. I'm not going to, because they'll look at me and going, well, you clearly can't do it for yourself. So for me to earn an income, I have to maintain a certain body composition. And granted, I am not the skinny, ripped ones that most people would, and I have had to do a lot of inner work on coming to terms with that kind of stuff, but that's whole different mindset stuff. So you've got your wealth aspect. For some people, they're not confident enough to go for an interview or to do a presentation because they hate how they feel in their own skin. They hate the fact, and I've had clients who have gone, like, come in here, they've lost a couple of dress sizes and they've gone on to get pay rises of 20 grand because of how they feel inside themselves and how they carry themselves. So that's the wealth element. Relationships, it could be relationship with your partner, not feeling sexy, not like the spark's gone from the marriage. It's a common one. Another one is status. And I see this more and more now, but, and I'm actually quite glad people are talking about it more, is that feeling of your body as a reflection of the effort that you put in. Your body is the physical representation of the quality of your lifestyle. And there's that funny thumb thing. Look at that. That it really just happens randomly. Like sometimes there's a firework that goes off. The other one that's about status is just want to feel smug and proud of what you've achieved. Some people, it's a comparison to friends or people that they know, and they want to be able to walk tall into every room where their friends are, or in workplaces. So it's, if you have, if your goal is important from a status point of view, do not hide away from it. It's perfectly valid. I've got a podcast topic that I want to talk about, going, why is vanity so underrated? Like, why do we always say, oh, this sounds really vain? Be vain. Like, this is you. So check your goals and check your why. They're the first things, and most people skip that, and until you can't skip it, right? Don't skip it. Then you want to do your limiting beliefs. So you want to go, right, okay, this is what I want. This is why I want it. We're not going to start unpicking why have you been doing the things that you've been doing. Actually, that's irrelevant. But you're going to start thinking about, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? And think future pacing, right? So what are the gnarly beliefs that are stopping you from doing it? That it's hard, right? Well, if you think it's hard, it's because you've been extreme. It's because you've tried to do everything too much rather than focusing on the one little thing at a time. Okay. So why can't you do it? Oh, it's hard. It's time consuming. It's, I don't know, other things I can't think. My brain is mush, right? So why can't you do it? Think of these limiting beliefs, right? And then you're going to retell that story, all of those limiting beliefs. If you really want that goal that you have written down, but you've now got 5 strong reasons of why you can't do it, you either have to knock down those excuses or change your goal. It's as simple as that. Now, if you don't believe that you can achieve the goal that you've set, you need to do some work on that. So either you need to go and find people who have achieved the goal that you've set yourself, and this is something that I've had to do from a business point of view, because I had a really gnarly belief that said Scottish women in their 40s cannot become successful business women in the health coaching space. And I had to actually go and find Scottish women in their 40s who are making gazillions of pounds to prove to myself that actually if they can do it, I can do it. So the same goes for you. If you don't believe you can achieve something, you can either find somebody else that's done it, and then that knocks your belief out the water. And if you can't find somebody that has done it and you still don't believe, then you maybe need to change your goal. There you go. But there is nothing, if you think about realism, like if your goal is to be a size 8 so you can be an astronaut and go in the International Space Station, but you're 51 and you studied, I don't know, art, it's kind of not realistic that you're going to get on the International Space Station as an astronaut, because you've got no scientific background, you've got no math background, you've got, no, it's quite unrealistic. But in theory, there's nothing to say you can't, because there has been other women that have gone in the international. Oh, I think they have. Anyway, so you get my point. Right, so that's your why can't you do things. That's your limiting beliefs. Get maximum of 5. Okay. Once you've done that work, you've started shifting your mindset, because mindset isn't an on-off button. Mindset is, again, a scale. Like, you can't ever just wait to be motivated, because it might never happen. And what happens if it never happens? Then you'll never do anything, and then, God, life will be pretty shit. Or you take extreme responsibility and you go, right, I'll make this happen. And these are the steps I need to do. Your goals, your why, and your limiting beliefs. So once you've brewed on that and thought about that, and you might need to dwell on that for a couple of days, you might even start thinking, oh, why do I keep sabotaging? And that's a whole different topic, but sabotage is, oh, that's a weird thing, isn't it? It just come up saying I've been disconnected, but I appear to still be live. Sabotage is a whole different kettle of fish. Like sabotage, well, it's not a different kettle of fish. It's a whole big topic that I'm not going to cover today. But sabotage can often be things are going quite well and I've never felt like this before, or I've never got these results this easy. I need to do something to make this hard for myself, right? And we do see that quite a lot here. So that can be a whole other, but anyway. So then after that, once you've done the thinking, once you've done the real, what do I want and why do I want it, and what are the beliefs that are stopping me getting there, then you need to take action, right? And as I said, remember, the best way to get the motivation is to do the action. Now, I don't want you to take action in the getting back on the wagon, because that then implies that you're doing everything at once, and that's never going to last very long. It's never going to be successful. So you pick one, two, or three, no more than three, small things that you can do today that is going to help you feel like you are climbing back on that wagon. And I don't like the phrase getting on the wagon or off it, because it implies you're on it or you're off it, and you're not. You're kind of on this scale somewhere. So you pick up to three things that you can do today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today, that'll help you feel more in control, because this whole on and off the wagon is a control thing. So for me, and this is me, this is not a science thing, this is just me, my personal preference, I always start with this. Always start with this. If I can drink 2.5 litres of water, or if, like, say it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're like, okay, if I can drink 1.5 litres of water before bedtime, I have succeeded. Steps for me is never an issue, because I've got a dog, massive dog, who my steps are on a normal day minimum 12, just because he gets 2 walks a day, and I do tend to walk quite a bit. So for me, it's always the water, and it's always tracking for me. If I can do that, and it's not I must do this for the rest of my life. It's like, I must do this for the rest of the day. If I can do this for the rest of the day, and I don't care if I'm over calories or under calories, I'm just taking back control. That this is my responsibility and I can do this, right? That's if I'm in a fat loss space. So if I'm not particularly in a fat loss space, then I'm not tracking anyway. But then it would be like, I can get my 5 portions of fruit and veg in, and I can get my protein in. That's my 3 things. That'll be my 3 things. For you, if you're not, like, I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now. So if you're fairly new into the journey, it could be, right, I can do my water. I might not be able to get my 10,000 steps in, but I can go a 20-minute walk every day this week. That's what you do. And that is called taking back control, because you are then making the decisions. You're deciding what you do, and you are holding yourself responsible and accountable for that. Okay, so pick 3 things. Don't pick, if you're, like, say you're halfway through your journey here, one of the things is all about more mindful eating and eating slow and tasting the food and not just wolfing it down. Like, that is actually quite a hard thing. So if you have identified that you've got a bit of a gnarly relationship with food, that's actually a really good one to do, but it's also the hardest. So what I would tend to do is if you're picking like 2 or 3, make them so easy that you cannot fail. So easy that like, I talk to clients like, right, I just want you to hit the gym once this week. They're like, oh, but I can do it 4 times. No, because unless you can commit to me that you can do it 4 times a week for the rest of your life, right now, it's not happening. You're going once a week. Because if you can make it so easy, think about how you think. We'll use the gym example. Right, say you're like, no, but I can go to the gym 4 times a week, right? And you do that, but you only do it for 2 weeks, and then you have 2 weeks off it, and then you're injured, and you get it, right? By the time you're healthy again, and you've got the time, you're like, oh God, 4 times a week, Jesus, that's quite a long time. But if I say to you, right, I want you to go once a week for the next 3 weeks, and you do that, you're like, I can do that. That was really good. I had my goal. I reached it. Excellent. So it gives you that kind of feeling of exceeding your goals. And as we know, we're people pleasers, and what better than pleasing ourselves and overachieving on everything. So I'd rather you overachieved on things and felt good than underachieve and ultimately subconsciously feel shit. And that's the whole psychology behind making it so easy that you cannot feel. Right? So if you're struggling to get in 500 ml of water a day, if you can do a litre of water a day, you have over exceeded on your goal by 100%. That's right. Yeah, that's right. How good does that make you feel versus, I've tried to get 2 litres in and only got a litre in, I fucked it, right? So we're building this whole belief system back up again. So there you go. Right. That's all I wanted to say today. I hope that helps somebody today. Please let me know in the comments. It's not really taking control of anything. Yeah, we can have a little bit of a pity party about the external circumstances, but I've got a little bit of a, here's a good tip for a bit of a pity party. I'm off the wagon, life's so unfair, I can't do this, I'm shit. Right, you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, right? And you're going to have a greet and a moan and like, I am fucking shit at this, But see when that timer goes off, no more. Life is too short for that shit. You're getting back into more of a positive. Okay, so what can I do right now? What is the next one thing that I can do that changes the trajectory of where I am just now? And it might be, I'm going to go and wash my face and then I'm going to have a big glass of diluting juice. Or I'm going to get outside and I'm going to stomp up and down that path for 10 minutes and I'm just going to get outside in the fresh air. I'm going to listen to a podcast. I'm going to do something that changes the direction of where you are. So if you're in a pity party, you're low mood, you're not making good choices, switch it. Go and have a drink of water. Go and eat an apple. Go and eat a banana. So just something that yeah, actually I've done something that's quite positive today. One of the ones I tend to work with what we would call achievers, women that are used to doing things like quite well and having multiple responsibilities and being in control and whatnot, and they get quite, I can't think of the word. They want to run away when they don't feel that they're in control. They want to hide. They feel like they've failed and they don't want to verbalize that. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to get vulnerable. And that's okay. That's normal. And like there's a whole raft of psychology behind that. But you're in this group for a reason. Get vulnerable because you will learn more about yourself and what to do when things feel like they're going wrong than if you hide away and just hope it fixes itself. And I completely get it because I was always like that. And it wasn't until I actually had my first high level coach that we went into the deeper layers of, well, actually, if you want, you're here. And if you want to be here, whatever, like if it's your weight loss or if it's your income or whether it's your career or whether it's your relationship, if you're here and you want to get here, this bit here is going to get gnarly because you have to pass through the scary shit, the unknown shit, the thoughts that you've never had before, the thoughts that scare you. You have to get through all of that before you get here. And yeah, like if it comes to weight loss, like a lot of folk will be like that, well, it's not rocket science. I just need to eat less and move more. But when you're in your 40s and when you're in your 50s, if it was that easy, would you not have done it by now? No, there's a whole mindset shift that needs to happen in order to move away from just relying on motivation. And that's what we're trying to teach you here. So, right, okay dokie, my lovelies, thank you. I'm just double checking again because I closed it down. If you've got further questions for me, then holler, 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 you know where I am. Yeah, we don't have any more questions. Right, have an amazing rest of your day. And just like that, we have spiced up another episode of Piss Off Perimenopause and the Musings of a Bullshit Queenager. Massive shout out and a huge thank you for hanging out with me today. I really hope you've been entertained. And remember, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep those heels high and standards higher. Remember, it's all about glowing, growing and downright owning it. So catch you on the flip side and don't forget to click the link in the show notes to get your freebie.